Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back to another round of candle reviews. I'm gonna have two for you today, one from Homeworx and one from Kringle. They are both from the holiday collections from these lines. This first one here that we're tackling is Orange Clove. I ordered this from QVC. I will tell you right now, I just had to extinguish this candle, so I'm gonna give you just an overhead view here. Sorry, Alpha's, he's kind of harassing me right now. I noticed that when I went to go set up my camera, that the wax pool is all the way down to the bottom here. So despite the fact that I have only burned the candle to the halfway point right here, this whole thing is liquefied. So this particular candle is just burning really hot. Now I have had it lit for just about 3 hours, maybe slightly over 3 hours, but not much longer than that. So, but I was seeing those little puffs of smoke starting to come up from this one. So I didn't want to leave it lit. I think I should have kept a slightly closer eye on it for this last burn here. So anyway, if you are interested in this scent, like I said, I purchased this from over at QVC. It does come in a set of 2. Now, I only have this one here because my friend Fiona is actually going to get the second one from the set. I have it set aside for her. I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with Fiona over on Instagram. So the next time that I meet up with her, she's gonna get the second one. I have really limited my purchasing of Homeworx candles, specifically from QVC, because they do come in a set of 2 mostly. They do occasionally have the singles available, but honestly, there's such a bad deal at QVC that I would never buy a single candle from Homeworx there. You can get a much better deal over at Homeworx.Shop, which is honestly where I have purchased the bulk of my Homeworx candles over the course of the last year or 2, since I have made the decision to whittle down this particular part of my collection. Since purchasing Homeworx products from QVC since 2017, 2018, when he first launched there, I just have so many backups that the collection has gotten out of control, and I need to kind of rein that in. So while I am purchasing new candles here and there, I'm really trying to avoid purchasing in bulk at this point and using up a little bit more of what I have. So that's why you guys haven't seen like a ton of hauls from me. I'm really trying to be mindful, just as like my own personal goal type thing. But this one here, I had to get, and I'm sure most of you guys know why. I am a huge fan of orange pomander scents, and I feel like Harry has done a few like citrus and clove type fragrances in the past, but has also added a few other notes in there, which really didn't make it a pure like orange pomander. And that's really what I love. If you're not familiar, I am in the process of putting out an orange pomander scent with Kringle Candle right now. I'm not going to compare mine to this one in this video because I really want to focus the review on what you're getting here. And so if you're gonna ask me how this compares to mine, we're not gonna get into that in this one. Also, the date has not been given to me for the release of my candle with Kringle. Everything has pretty much been finalized, but we're just waiting on making sure that we can get everything lined up and that the quantities are there. So hold tight. As soon as I can give you guys information, it will be forthcoming. I'm not trying to hide anything, but I really truly don't have information on the launch date yet. As soon as I know, I promise I will tell you. All right, so let's talk about Orange Clove. First of all, I've talked to a few people about this particular scent, and to some, there has been kind of a funky note that has come across. Some people mentioned that they smelled like a touch of almost like patchouli in here. Some people mentioned that they got like kind of a weird amber note from this. And I have to tell you, to my nose, I got none of that. And honestly, I really like what I'm smelling here. I think that in terms of the fragrance composition, this is more what I personally lean towards when I'm looking for an orange pomander scent. That being said, it's not that there's like not flaws with this one, but we'll get into that here in a second. I want to take you through the fragrance notes first and just kind of address that, and then we will get into the overall burn quality, strength, throw, stuff like that. Okay, so currently this candle is available over at QVC for $42.98. Again, a set of 2. It's still showing free shipping and handling, so if you're interested, it'll be linked in the description box right below this video. And the fragrance description for this one reads as follows. A blend of sparkling orange, crushed clove buds, spiced honey, and exotic woods. So let me just tell you what we can cross off of this list here right away, according to my nose. I don't smell any exotic woods. There is nothing even remotely woody or, quite frankly, exotic about this scent. It's pretty straightforward. And I also don't get spiced honey. And I certainly don't smell anything patchouli or amber-like at all. What I get is a really beautiful, fresh, bright, juicy orange note and a really nice, soft clove. This is not one of those orange pomander scents that is going to come across as super clove heavy. The emphasis here really is more on the citrus note, and I love that. This fragrance, just in how it presents itself to me here, is really what I enjoy when it comes to an orange pomander. Like I said, the honey just isn't there. The exotic woods just aren't there. This is a sweet scent. It is a sweet citrus scent. So I guess if you maybe took away like the spice from the honey, you could say maybe there's a touch of honey in here to bring the sweetness. But citrus on its own also just is a little bit sweet to begin with. So yeah, I don't know. The honey, give or take, I guess, but I do smell sweetness in here. This is really straightforward to my nose, you guys. This smells like orange and it smells like clove. And to be totally honest, I like it. I like this scent. It is what I personally look for in an orange and clove scent. It is straightforward. There's nothing really extra added here, and it smells like Christmas. This is the type of scent that I love to have during the holidays because it really kind of almost lightens things up a little bit from a lot of the like maybe heavy gourmands or from a lot of the heavy tree scents. I think just this brings a touch of freshness to the holidays without it coming from like the mint or the eucalyptus or the outdoor frosty air, right? Like those aren't things that I personally gravitate towards, but I do love me a fresh citrus. And I grew up making orange pomanders at my Oma's house when I was younger. She kept me busy by sitting me in front of a bowl of oranges with some cloves. And so that's really where my fondness of this particular type of scent comes from. Like it's a memory. It's very, I guess, evocative of just some wonderful memories from my youth. So for me, this type of scent is almost a must-have during the holidays. Christmas was one of my Oma's favorite times of the year, and I loved spending time with her during the holidays, making German cookies and, you know, making these orange pomanders for her. Honestly, I think she just made me do those just to keep me busy. I always wanted to be by her side, under her feet, being involved, and I think having me make the pomanders was just her way of being like, all right, how can I keep this little kid busy? But it made me happy, right? Like this is one of the reasons why I love home fragrance so much, is it just brings back some of these just incredible memories of years past, and it just brings joy. So because this is such a pure take on orange pomander, it really does take me back, and I like this scent. I do. I think it's wonderful. But let's go ahead and talk about the performance. So even though I have only burned this to the halfway point, I did have to blow it out for this video because it was completely pulled out to the bottom. I could kind of see the start of the wick clips. And that means that this is a really hot burning candle, which means that it's also a fast burning candle. When you have a Homeworx candle where the wax pool gets really deep really fast, and you have wicks that form even small mushroom tops, it can make those wicks a little top heavy. And that's where I think a lot of people get into trouble with the wicks falling over. Now, granted, there are some wicks that are not properly attached to the wick clips, which is like, to me, that makes the candle faulty, right? Like they didn't check that wick clip before pouring the wax in. But sometimes it's just that the mushroom tops are so heavy that even if they are properly attached at the wick clips, they're gonna wanna keel over. So I went ahead and blew this out so that I don't have to deal with that. Let's get an overhead look. She's still kind of solidifying at this point, but you can see that whole thing was completely liquefied. And see, the wicks are starting to just want to like lean a little bit. I will be correcting that just with a toothpick before it completely dries so that I can stand them up again. But this is the reason, you guys, why I do not burn my Homeworx candles more than 3 hours. If you are dealing with wicks that are just keeling over all the time, make sure that you are not getting this deep of a wax pool, because that's you're almost 100% guaranteed to deal with that. I think it's just the type of wicks that Homeworx is currently using. I wish that they would revisit the wicks. I think that that might solve a lot of their problems, quite frankly. So yeah, anyway, so I feel like that's enough about the wicks here. Let's talk strength and throw. Now, the strength and throw of this has not been super consistent for me. For the most part, I would say it lands somewhere between a 5 and a 6 in terms of strength. It was really light on cold sniff, and honestly, for the number of wicks and the size of this candle, for it to only fall between a 5 and a 6, it's way too light, especially for this type of scent. I really wish this was maybe more of like a 7 or preferably even an 8, but that's not what I'm getting here. I think if you are willing to burn both candles at the same time, you're gonna get a lot more in terms of strength and throw. But I know many of us don't necessarily want to do that because there's a lot of people that just want to burn one candle at a time. They literally only have one candle burning in their house at any given time. That's not me. I usually have at least 2, but also sometimes I just like my candles, if it's a scent that I really like this one, I want to be able to save the second one for December when Christmas is actually here and I have my decor up, and that's when I'm craving a scent like this. It's a nice fall scent too, to be totally honest, but for the most part, this to me just screams Christmas, and that mostly has to do with my own personal memories. But you could certainly burn this in the fall if you are looking to lighten up a little bit from a lot of these heavy pumpkin scents. But the strength and the throw is, it's not where it should be. The Homeworx candles, some of them have been improving for me in terms of strength and throw, but the thing that I have to go back to, and I'm always gonna be honest with you guys, even though I am an ambassador for Homeworx, they are not consistent yet. And until there is that consistency, I think a lot of people are going to continue to potentially take a break from Homeworx. And you know, that's a bummer to me because I do think that they offer so many great scents. And you know, if there was just that consistency there, at least if there was a little bit of an improvement in strength and throw and everything was more consistent performance-wise across the board, I think there could be a little bit more forgiveness on most people's parts. But with the inconsistency, I completely understand where you guys are coming from. So I'm never gonna like sugarcoat things with Homeworx. There still are inconsistencies. And this one here, I think, is a really beautiful scent that I would really love to just have a little bit more from. The throw, it's definitely not a house filler. I would put the throw at between like a 5.5 and a 6 as well. I mean, I can certainly smell this in any of the areas where I have had it, but I would like a little bit more of like a punch from it. If you are looking for subtle, you'll get some nice subtlety from this one. But honestly, most of us here, I don't think are looking for subtlety. We are looking for smack you in the face type of fragrance, right? And this one's not smacking me in the face. So that being said, the overall like presentation of this, the fragrance of it is fabulous. It's yummy. It's what I look for in orange pomander, but it's the performance that really, I think, could use some improvement. So anyway, I wish that I could be a little bit more positive about this one because I do just really love these types of scents. But that being said, if you are interested in getting it, it is available in a set of 2. I think if you burn them both at the same time, you're probably going to get a lot more out of it. But my second one is reserved for my friend Fiona. And I am very curious to hear her take on this one. We usually smell a lot of the same things in the different candles that we're both reviewing, but sometimes she smells things a little bit differently. So I'll be very curious to see what her nose picks up. Anyway, I hope that this was helpful. Let me know in the comments down below if you picked up Orange and Clove, what your performance has been. There are a few people, like I said, who have smelled something a little funky in this. I don't get anything funky at all. It smells really good to my nose, but it is lighter. So, yeah, let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. I know that that is helpful in other people's decision-making process, whether they decide to pick this up or not. So leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Check out the description box if you're interested in picking this one up. Please give this review a big fat thumbs up if you found it helpful. Subscribe if you're new, and then stay tuned for a review of one of the Homeworx Christmas candles for 2023 a little bit later on this afternoon. Have a great day, you guys. Toodaloo.